Hey folks, this week it was Demi Lovato's turn to torture the girls and break a half a dozen hearts in this new 4-chair challenge on Season 3 of The X Factor. Actually, they could have saved about 3 of these girls the trouble and just let them stay at home because we pretty much knew that if we didn't see their full audition, they weren't going to make it. But, of course, all of these decisions were made on the spot. The first of the girls on Wednesday night was 20-year-old Bree Randall. She carries around a vision book, which is like a scrapbook for the future, I guess? I don't know. But she's planned out her entire career. She wants to sing and design clothes and perfume. Basically, she wants to be one of those super annoying do-it-allers that can't be satisfied with just one lucrative career. They gotta have them all, kind of like Jennifer Lopez. Anyway, for her performance, she sang, "I'm glad you came," and I wish I could say the same. She totally butchered that song, and the longer it went on, the worse it got, so I hated it. And the judges pretty much hated it, too. Didn't see that coming in the vision book, did you? I guess now she can rip out all those pages that have anything to do with singing and throw them in the garbage, because she just ain't got it. Hopefully she's better at designing clothes than she is at singing, though. Kelly said that Bree has shown no growth since her audition, and I guess we'll just have to take her word for that. Simon said that he liked her outfit and personality, but not her voice. And Demi didn't think that Bree could compete with any of the over 25s that already made it. And then Bree started begging. She said that she was literally born to do this, as opposed to figuratively born to do this, I guess. Maybe her parents kept one of them silly vision books too, and they saw her doing this in the future. The begging kinda paid off, though, because Demi did allow her to play seat warmer for a little while before she sent her home. Based on her intro, though, home ain't a bad place to be. Her parents got a nice house. Next up was 16-year-old Khya Cohen. She said that she's a small white girl that likes to sing big soulful ballads that don't match her look. Well, at least she didn't proclaim to have a large black woman living inside of her like other people have done on these shows before, but it's pretty much what she meant, isn't it? Anyway, this time around she sang "Locked Out of Heaven," and I liked it better than I liked her audition, but it still wasn't perfect. I didn't really like her audition. Even the second song that the judges acted like it was Amy Winehouse, reanimated and sober, but yeah, there were parts of this one that I did like, but I wasn't crazy about the arrangement, and the last half of it is what the old Simon Cowell probably would have called a bit indulgent. I think she has potential, though, but she also has the potential to be a disaster with the wrong song choice, but I guess the same thing could be said about everybody except Lily McLeod. Anyway, Kelly said that Khya has incredible instincts. Simon said that he knows a lot of great producers that would love to work with her now, and Demi said that the entire competition needs to watch out for her. And then they try to drag it out like Demi was thinking about it. After those comments, of course she wasn't thinking about it, and of course she gave Khya a chair that we all knew she was going to be keeping. Next up was 24-year-old Jamie Pineda. She sings to the over 25s for a living at retirement homes, and from the clip that they showed in the intro, the old people seem to be enjoying it, but most of them probably can't hear anymore, so you kind of got to take that with a grain of salt. For her performance, she sang "Don't Speak" by No Doubt. Great song choice, I thought. Not such a great performance, though. It was fine until she got to the chorus, and then it devolved into pure karaoke, so I didn't love it. Then, though, she started singing in Spanish. I was like, girl, you don't need to try to impress Paulina. She's not your judge. I don't know, the whole singing one song in 2 languages, it's a gimmick that's been done on these shows many times over the years, and it's really starting to get old, and it never really works, does it? The judges ate it up, though. Simon and Kelly basically said that she was boring in English and great in Spanish, but I've always said it's almost impossible to judge something outside of your native tongue in a language that you don't even speak, because you don't even know if the words are being butchered or not, so they should have asked for Paulina's opinion on this one, but they didn't, which is usually the case. It seems like they're either editing her out a lot, or she's just not saying a whole lot. Demi ended up giving Jamie one of those temporary seats. Next up was 24-year-old Ashley Williams, the girl whose mom was murdered. They told the whole story all over again, so I'm not going to rehash it here. I'm trying to avoid the sad stories this season, but anyway, this time around, Ashley sang "Don't Wanna Miss a Thing." No, 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 no. My God, why the hell in the year 2013 are people still singing this wretched mess of a song? I hated the song choice. The singing was only good about 60% of the time, and what the hell was that medical alert bracelet that she had wrapped around the top of her head? I didn't get it at all. Kelly and Paulina loved it, though, but Simon didn't like the song choice, and he thinks there's better singers in the competition. But Demi decided to kick the can down the road for a little while and prolong Ashley's agony by putting her in a chair for a little while before finally giving her the axe. Next up, the first one on Thursday night was 19-year-old Simone Torres. She sings at weddings and restaurants with her father. I'm guessing their song choices are pretty limited because there's not a whole lot of songs that a father and daughter duo can get away with singing without coming across as creepy and totally uncomfortable, and uncomfortable is about the best way to describe Simone's super strange performance of A Change Is Gonna Come. I mean, she sounded fine, but surely she told people close to her what she was planning on doing, and not one of them said, "Girl, no!" Sam Cooke's Civil Rights Anthem is not a dance song that you're supposed to clap your hands to and have a good time with. And speaking of dancing, this performance could not have looked any sillier if it had been choreographed by Richard Simmons. And I'm still not totally convinced that it wasn't. Paulina liked it, though. She said that she relates to Simone because she started working when she was little. Simon said that the arrangement of the song was a joke, but Kelly Rowland said, "Don't get it twisted, you sang the hell out of it." And Demi wasn't convinced that she was looking at a star. That seems to be her go-to line this season, doesn't it? She gave her Bree Randall seat anyway, but just for a little while. Next up was 15-year-old Danielle, or Danie Geimer. I don't know what she's going to be calling herself next week. Her whole intro was once again about how smart she is, and she wants to be a neurosurgeon if the whole singing thing doesn't work out. I didn't even know what a neurosurgeon was when I was 15. Actually, I'm still not 100% sure if I know what it is. No, Danielle says that sometimes people trip over her when she's, I don't know, sitting in the park reading books, and she says that now people will be like, "Oh, I tripped over a star." Don't get ahead of yourself, young lady. Anyways, Danielle sang Georgia on My Mind, and it was fine. Probably the best of the girls up until that point. But I wouldn't go so far as to say that she sang her face off like Kelly Rowland said. I don't know, I think maybe that I've heard this song about 100 times too many for it to be anything other than moderately impressive, no matter how good you sing it, and I've heard it done a lot better than that. Simon said that Danielle is shy and humble, and he hopes that she never changes. Simon, a humble person, would have never uttered that awful tripped over a star line that we saw in her intro. She already has a case of the big head, but also she has a spot on the live shows. Demi repossessed a chair from Simone Torres and gave it to Danielle. Next up was 18-year-old Rylie Brown. Her whole intro was mainly about her being a pageant girl. For the life of me, I don't know why anybody would bring that up. And especially, why would you offer up footage that makes you look spoiled and self-absorbed? I don't know. For all you girls, though, that are thinking about going on one of these shows, just pretend like your pageant past never happened and don't ever talk about it. Because all that's going to happen is a good segment of the population will always label your performance as pageanty. And it didn't help that Rylie's performance kind of was pageanty. She sang Angels by Robbie Williams, and it was just okay. Probably better than at least two of the girls that got chairs, but if Demi had given her a chair, she would have just took it away later on, so I guess it's better just to get it over with now. Next up was 20-year-old Primrose Martin. Who the hell names their child Primrose? Skip Martin from Kool and the Gang, obviously, is her father, so that's who names their child Primrose. Now, Primrose says that she wants to step out of her dad's shadow, isn't that what they always say, and that she wants to earn her spot on the show, but all she earned when she sang Blame It on the Boogie was a big old crowd full of boos. It was just a mess. She sounded terrible. She looked awkward. I think at one point she even tried to moonwalk, but it ended up looking like she was trying to scrape dog poop off her shoes, so it was quite awful. The judges hated it. The crowd was booing. Simon said that it was the longest 90 seconds of his life, and then Primrose decided to start acting like one of those annoying auditioners by singing over the judges in a desperate attempt to change their minds, but of course it didn't work, and her father was humiliated. He put his head in his hands. He was just so embarrassed, and he was even more humiliated when she started begging. She said that she wants this more than she wants air. Sure you do, Primrose. Put a plastic bag over her head for about 45 seconds, and I bet she'll change her mind. Demi didn't change her mind, though. It was no chair for Primrose. Next up was 13-year-old Rion Paige. During her intro, they showed a clip from her audition when she was explaining to the judges the whole deal with her hands, and Simon was like, "Seriously?" "No, Simon, she was kidding." I can't believe he said that. Anyway, this time around, Rion sang I Won't Let Go by Rascal Flatts, and it was leaps and bounds better than her shouty audition. Still wasn't perfect, though. She clearly hasn't learned how to completely control her voice, which is one of the many reasons that I think 13 is just way too young for a show like this, but it was okay. And she sells the song very well with her facial expressions. But all the tears in the crowd, it was a bit much. They acted like she was wheeled out there on life support. Of course, the judges loved it. Demi said that she doesn't see anything different when she looks at Rion, but if that were true, she wouldn't have said that. Of course, it was no surprise that Rion got a chair. Demi took it away from Ashley Williams to give to her, and she never took it away. And the last on Thursday night was 17-year-old Ellona Santiago. She was born in the Philippines, and after her family moved to the States, they lived in a garage for 6 years. It looked like a pretty nice garage, though. Well, probably better for a bachelor, I guess. With a full family, it might get a little bit crowded at times. But anyway, this time around, Ellona sang Clarity, and it started out really shaky. I was like, quit shaking, girl. You done this before in season 1, so you already know what to expect. It did get a lot better, though. I don't think it was as good as I was expecting it to be. Because the last of the night, what we saw from the over 25s, that the last of the night was the best. And I thought Ellona was just pretty good. I really don't think it was a good song choice for her, though. Mainly because I said after her audition, Ellona really needs to try her best not to get compared to Jessica Sanchez. But once again, she's done a song that Jessica did on Glee, just like with her audition. So, the same reason that blonde country girls should avoid singing Carrie Underwood, she should never sing a song that Jessica Sanchez has done, because they're always going to get compared. Maybe not fair, but it is what it is. Anyway, Kelly called her a beast, but said that she didn't look like a beast. Paulina said that it was amazing. Simon said that it was one of the best vocals from the girls, which isn't really saying a whole lot. And Demi, once again, didn't think she was really looking at a star, but we knew she was going to put Ellona through. That Jamie girl had been warming up a seat for way too long, and as dramatic as they try to make it, it was no surprise. So that was it for this week. The final 4 on Demi's team is Khya Cohen, Ellona Santiago, Rion Paige, and Danielle, or Danie Geimer, whatever she's going to be calling herself when the live show starts. Next week we'll have the boys and the groups with Paulina and Simon. And then, I think after next week, the show's going to be on hiatus for almost 3 weeks for the World Series, because Fox is going to be showing the World Series. And so the live shows don't start until sometime in November, and then they start on like a Tuesday night, going right up against The Voice. Somebody had some smart planning going on there. Anyway, that's it for this week. I'll see you folks next week.